students are angry. They are rallying against what is happening at Howard University because they are saying that Howard is sending them to debt collectors and things are happening and it's becoming out of control and they don't feel like they can afford it. And Howard is requiring them to pay their bill before they re-register for class from the last semester. And they might be going up on tuition and all of that stuff. And so everybody are angry. All of the people and all of the ladies, I only see ladies. I haven't seen any guys that come across my feed, but all of the people are upset at Howard University for what they call they are making too much money, they're generating too much revenue, and they're requiring for students to pay too much in tuition. Yes, an HBCU. HBCU. Distinguished gentleman says, yep, my nephew was there. It's crazy. I just cut a check for $5,000 last week. Oh, okay. So it really is a thing. It really is a thing. How great is it to go to a predominantly black university and institution that is marketed to black people? Imagine if a white institution or university did that. Y'all would call it a KKK university, the Klansman university. Y'all would call it the Klans meeting. If white people created a university that predominantly focused on whites, y'all would call it a Klan meeting.
It is a scary time at Howard University. My name is Micaiah Goodman. I'm a sophomore biology major on a pre-med track at Howard University, and things are getting scary. I know people may be wondering, why do you keep making videos? This is like your 17th video. Why do you keep saying things? Because it is genuinely starting to get terrifying. One of the most popular pages indirectly associated with Howard University, Last Bison Standing, recently posted, "Things are about to get ugly, start making your exit strategy." This page is typically known to be run by, I believe, some recent graduates, and they are known for fundraising, giving out scholarships, as well as...
Oh, y'all upset that I said that? Because I'm addressing y'all black. Go black people. Universities. Is that what y'all bothered by? Y'all bothered by what I just said about the fact that I said that if it was a university that they labeled, because y'all marketed it. See, listen, y'all the ones that put PWI on universities in order to illustrate a certain thing. That's what y'all did. That's what y'all did. Y'all put that on them. But y'all labeled yourselves HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. Bethune-Cookman, Howard University, Spelman. Does this make y'all uncomfortable? Oh, you an alumni, so you feeling some type of way about it. Okay. All right. All right. Isn't it funny, though, that the majority of your universities and institutions were put together by white people? Y'all want to talk about that one, though. Spelman, what it was named after. Oh my gosh. Y'all are so easily finessed. So easily taken advantage of and easily marketed to. And I know what you're going to say. It doesn't matter. What matters is what it represents and the fact that it is a place where black people were able to feel safe in order to be able to continue their studies and ensure that they were able to educate themselves. And most people that graduate from HBCUs, they are employed. They are over an 80% employment rate, specifically from Howard and Spelman and Bethune-Cookman. We know what you're going to say. We know what you're going to say before you say it. Well, know what you're going to say before you say it. Stop whining. Take your L just like everybody else. Stop complaining. Stop complaining. Stop whining. Stop. Let's continue.
Selling Howard merch. These people are telling us things are about to get ugly. Make your exit strategy. What is that supposed to mean? As a current Howard student, what is that supposed to mean? People are thinking that we're just coming to the internet to beg for money or complain, but we're genuinely scared. The university is threatening to send our balances to debt collectors. Debt collectors. There's a chance that we could have a 28 to 30, I think I saw someone put a 28 to 60% interest rate on our balances. I just finished my first year. I did not know that this was a thing. I didn't even know that this could
Somebody
even
said
happen.
Aaron L., my favorite HBCU defender of diversity, equity, and inclusion. He says, why does it matter who founded it? What do you mean, why does it matter who founded it? I thought y'all cared about stuff like that. That's why I thought that y'all was toppling statues and stuff during the George Floyd protest. No? No? Wasn't y'all toppling statues? Because y'all cared about the history of this country. Why won't y'all acknowledge your white founders? Why won't y'all give them credit for putting together something that allowed for you guys to be able to feel included amongst each other? I think that acknowledging your history, like they always try to do, every time I get on Monday night, they say, acknowledge racism exists. We need to acknowledge this. Why don't you acknowledge your white founders? Why don't you acknowledge it? I thought that history mattered. History don't matter in this situation. It don't matter. It selectively matters. It just matters when it's convenient for you in order to be able to topple a couple of statues that you don't like, right? That it don't matter no more. All right, don't worry about it. We'll just stick to what the students are complaining about then.
Beyond just not being able to afford our education, people are being threatened. I would know because I've personally been threatened. Not only are we expected to pay these extremely high balances with a small number of days and a small notice, or they'll be sent to debt collectors, but we're also being threatened, pressured, and attacked and harassed to stop speaking about it and to start taking our videos down. For everyone that thinks that this is just a joke, or for all of the negative comments that are just giving out judgment and not actually listening to what we're saying, please, if there's anything that you listen to,
Shout
if
out
there's
to
any
all of the women with the bullnose ring, the septum ring too.
video that you watch in full and truly comprehend, it's this one. Things are getting scary. I don't even know in what way, and that makes it scarier. All I know is if you're a student that's considering transferring, or even if you're not considering transferring, please just submit some transfer applications. There are some schools who still have transfer applications open for the fall. Just submit them as a safety net.
So what she's basically saying is that Howard is requiring, this is the main thing that they're concerned about. Because usually when people get mad, then they start going into all of the other things that they don't like about the university. But the foundation of these conversations is Howard. I'm on Howard's side on this one. Now what? I'm defending the HBCU. I'm pretty sure you're gonna take the opposite position of me. So now, what position are you gonna take? I support Howard and them requiring for students to pay off their balance before they enroll in the next semester. I thought that that's what you were supposed to do. Now you want to complain about the price. So y'all wasn't aware of how much a credit hour was going to cost when you decided to go to out of state to go to Howard University, and then you wanted to live on campus. You wasn't aware of what the cost per credit hour was going to be. You didn't know that you was going to get a $50,000 bill at the end of the year. I defend Howard. I stand with Howard on this issue. What are y'all complaining about? Y'all mad because Howard said that they're going to send your bill to a debt collector and you won't be able to register until you pay your balance that you owe? Well, where else can you go to where you can continue to participate without actually paying your balance? The church won't even let you come in and be considered a member if you're not paying your tithes and offering. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not going to be able to let you sit on the pulpit. Why? I've been a faithful member for the last 10 years and my mother died here. Remember when you buried my mother? Yeah. But you on hard times. You need a little bit of help? What do you mean? Well, I was checking with the church secretary, and they said that you haven't paid your tithes and offerings for 2 months. Yeah, I've been going through something, Pastor, but listen, I'm going to need you to pay your back because God don't like that. God don't like that. God said he won't, he is first. He wants, he is first. Do you know the story of Cain and Abel? Then they're going to start preaching to you. You know the story of Cain and Abel? Do you know why he killed them? Because he gave his first. And God said that he had favor on him. I don't want you to turn into a Canaanite. I don't want, so until then, you're going to have to make sure that you catch up on your back tithes and offerings. The church is just like, the church is worse than IRS. Catch up on your back tithes and offerings, and you should probably put a little extra in it. And don't tell me that you don't got it, because that just means that you're not stretching out on faith. Don't tell me you don't got it, because that means that you're not stretching out on faith. You might have had a job by now had you been paying your tithes and offerings on your unemployment insurance, that is. That's why you in the situation that you in right now, because you didn't give God his first. Honey, can you pull up my S class so I can make sure that I drive past this Dusty right here, because he can't have his spot on the pulpit until he get himself together. Okay? I don't want you to forget again. Make sure you get yourself together. And please, I don't want to have to call you in here again, because it's going to be embarrassing for your wife and your children. All right? I stand with Howard. I stand with Howard. I stand with Howard. Who amongst you stand against Howard?
Howard is currently having a scandal right now because students cannot pay their tuition. And I'm making this video to address everybody who is badgering these students, saying, oh, well, you shouldn't have gone to a university that you can't afford, you shouldn't have did this, blah, 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 blah. Because it's not about that. This is no longer about people not being able to pay their balances. This is about a school becoming more focused on money and their business rather than their students and academia. For the 24-25 school year, our tuition was over $50,000 a year. If we want to do some rough math, $50,000, more than $50,000, but we're just going to say $50,000 with 12,500 students. How much money is that every year in tuition? That's $625 million. And
so now you want to count Howard's pockets? Now y'all experts on financing, accounting, the true cost of being able to run this campus. Now y'all want to start evaluating it. I'm always curious, because why wasn't y'all able to figure out how much tuition was going to cost before you signed up? And why are y'all still going to schools that you know you can't afford for degrees that's not going to pay anything? And you know you're going to be asking for student loan forgiveness and be doing the same thing cyclically, right? It's going to be a cyclical process where you come back, you're going to be begging on TikTok and Instagram, and you're going to be saying, they're requiring me to pay my student loans back. America is a scam. America is a scam. Going to school is a scam.
stay with me. Our tuition is rising. $20,000 more. And it doesn't stop at tuition. Let's talk about revenue. How much revenue does Howard make every year? So let's account for 2023. How much did Howard make in revenue in the year 2023? $1.27 billion. Almost $1.3 billion. But these students who are struggling financially, who can't apply their payment plans, who can't apply their scholarships, who financial aid is not being posted, they have to pay their $20,000 balance now. They absolutely need to. And let's not mention the consequence of this. If you don't,
Are y'all really paying $50,000 a year for general ed requirements? Is that what y'all paying for? Nope. That's not what y'all paying $50,000 a year for, out of state tuition. Because first of all, in-state tuition is cheaper, so you probably should find a place to go to. You probably should just go to community college if you just want to be real. But neither here nor there. Are y'all paying $50,000 for general ed requirements. Are y'all seriously doing that? And some of y'all not even in algebra 101. You in algebra 01. You got to take remedial classes just to get you up to being able to take the regular class. So you don't know that I know what you in, right? 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024. You don't think I know that they teaching you how to count, do you? Y'all paying $50K for general ed requirements. That's not really what y'all up there doing. Y'all not paying $50K for that. You paying $50K for freedom. This is why you will never not be able to get the students that go to these private universities, that go to major universities, that go to public colleges. This is why community college is not popular. All right. Community college, from an educational perspective, and trade schools are the best bang. It's the best bang for your buck, actually. But you know why you don't ever have to worry about that? Because in most of community colleges, you don't get to live on campus and you don't get the freedom from your parents. And so you don't get to suck some cock. That's why. You don't get to go get the hoes. We want to pledge. Hey, he. You don't get to do that. You don't get to be in the in crowd. You don't get to bust it down for a real one. You don't get to go to the parties. You don't get the freedom. I want to have the freedom of living in a cinder block room, trapped in with somebody that I don't know, so that I can have some sex and be able to stay out as late as I want to. That's why community college in the black community and then the white communities are not popular, because you don't get to suck some cock. That's why. Because you don't get to make sure that you find yourself so that you'll have pink hair and a septum nose ring. Now I can get a tattoo that says free freedom. That's why. You'll never have to worry about community colleges being overwhelmed, even though it's the best bang for your buck. That's why, Trace, do you want to know why black people don't in mass go enroll to become an electrician, a millwright? Why you're not doing your general ed requirements before you transfer over to a major university? You want to know why? Because they can't market box to you. It's not sexy enough in order for you to be able to get your education at a lower cost. We have to have the black experience. Power to the people. It's nothing like walking across campus and knowing that all of the founders and the people that previously went here, I am representing them now. It's the black experience. I get to get dreadlocks now. I get to go and get HIV and herpes. Also, I can study African American studies and get an underwater basket weaving degree. The minute that they figure out how to market some sex at a community college, it'll be overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. What? You could just stay right next to the girl that you want to bust down? Ah, that's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to be talking about that. Let me let her finish complaining about the cost of college.
Pay your balance is getting sent to collections. Not only do you lose your spot and you are not able to register for classes, your tuition's getting your unpaid bill is getting sent to collections.
Spit it out, baby.
For all my people who are considering coming to Howard this upcoming year, whether you're an incoming freshman, sophomore, junior, whatever, or even if you're in a graduate program, please reconsider. Absolutely weigh your pros and cons with other schools. If you can pay less
and receive less stress
Mm-hmm.
by going anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Go there.
Finally, somebody that's talking some sense.